I am officially bulletproofed. Yes, that's why my skin is glowing and I'm looking ripped and jacked. It's because every morning I take my mycotoxin-free bulletproof coffee and mix it up with MCT oil and grass-fed butter. Why, do you ask? Well, it does a lot of things. It replaces my meal for the morning, and it gets my brain all the right nutrients they need. Those oils, that fat, and then I don't eat until 1 or 2 o'clock. So it's not really just coffee. It's turning into a lifestyle.
I think of the movie, Eyes Wide Shut, because they had a very dramatic and beautiful scene of kind of like an underground elite sex party. And then I always think, it can't be like that. You might have this image, is it, of killing kittens, then you go in and it's just like, oh, it's gross. But so you say it's better.
It's better because that, and also Eyes Wide Shut is, it's very objectifying the women. It's very much the men are in control and the women are just kind of there being shagged.
Yeah, okay.
If you if you think about it, it's like the women are wandering around naked and they're just being dealt with, and the guys are the ones in the cloaks and the. So I actually find it quite. I don't find it that sexy. Eyes Wide Shut. I find it quite. It's very male.
Yeah, I guess
it's very predatory. It's very kind of the guys just prowling and pouncing, and the women being very submissive, and and actually that ours is the complete opposite. It's the women are very predatory. They're very, a lot of them are very full on, sexually confident. Yeah. You've seen it. They just they go for it.
Do girls get into fights like stay away from my man?
No.
No, that doesn't happen.
No.
Okay.
No.
If a girl comes with her man, she's kind of like, okay, things are going to happen.
It's about what the girl wants. So
okay.
I call them any men that go there are kind of walking dildos. They'll get used if a girl wants to use them.
Do you objectify men then?
No.
No.
We
could use some objectification.
To be honest, there's an element of that because it's all about what the girl wants, and it's up to the girls what happens. And the guys, as I said, if the girls want to use the guys, then they'll.
But it's like that anyway.
So it is objective. There's an element of.
It's like that anyway in any regular bar. Like women are the gatekeepers of sex, right? I mean, a guy has to go there and he has to demonstrate his value or his worth. Like you won't go to a bar and as a man and expect women to just like jump on you.
Unless you ply her with 20 Sambuca shots.
Yeah.
Did the movie Eyes Wide Shut help your business? Was that right around when you opened?
No,
business?
because that was.
Was it before?
No, it was before. We've been going
okay.
7 years, and I think that film must be over 10 years.
Okay.
10 years, definitely.
But it must be something that people think of right away.
People always think. I think it's the masked sex party that people. I told you these were
prototypes.
Yeah. I think it's the masked sex party.
Okay.
Thing, yeah.
I have a friend who actually he takes his girlfriend to killing kittens all the time, and I said to him, it's like I'll call him Steve. I was like, Steve, isn't it a bit weird to see your girlfriend like having sex with some other guy? I mean, I personally would get really probably jealous. And he just looked at me and he said, Nick, life is all about sharing. I couldn't argue with the guy. I was like, okay. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that's the ultimate display of security. Like your security with yourself is being able to. We've spoken about this before.
I
on
want to
another
get
show,
Emma's
right?
thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
No, I think completely, and that's what sometimes I get into sort of heated debates with people because you get people, and I'll tell you what, it's the only people that have a problem with the parties are alpha males, and I'm not saying at the parties, outside the parties, because they just can't get their head around it.
Mm-hmm. Outside the parties.
Outside the parties, and they're the ones that will be like, it's wrong, it's dark, it's twisted. It's like the only couples that are going to go are ones that are in screwed up relationships. That it's the ultimate. And I turn around and go, actually, it's the opposite. A lot of the time, these are the most secure in love couples I've ever come across.
That's interesting.
And what they're doing is they're exploring together. And there's no threat, and they're completely secure. They're secure in themselves, they're secure in their relationship, and it's just an experience. It's not, I think it's the alpha thing of that's my territory, that's my property, and therefore no other man. It's just, it's animal kingdom, that's my bitch. And, if a guy even looks at her or goes near her, he's going to kick off. And it's that mentality which you never, it's ingrained. That's the.
It's like a biological mechanism that you have to overcome, I guess.
So does that mean that if I don't want to see some guy fuck my girlfriend, there's something wrong with me?
No,
that's an amazing question. Yeah.
So what's the
no? That's not. It's a choice. So it's not. Each to their own. It's like personally, yeah, these are my parties, but I personally, have never got involved, and I've never been in a relationship where I've felt, would be happy doing that. And maybe, so it is each their own, but I don't know if I'm going to end up in a relationship and sort of 10 years down the line. It is something that you both talk about, because actually some of the couples that come along, I always talk to, and, for example, there's one couple who have been together sort of 15 years, and she'd only sort of slept with one person before him, and they were chatting, and she just said, I've got to the point where, I don't want to cheat on you, but I don't want to die having... And it was kind of, she was getting bored, and it was kind of... and
he was probably getting bored too.
Yeah, and it was like, well, let's go to one of these parties. We'll go and watch the first one. We won't get involved with the first one. We'll just see what it's like, and then we'll decide. And they said this was sort of 4 years ago. The whole thing is complete. They are now, probably, if I had to pick a couple, and they've become very good friends of mine, they're the most sorted couple I know. And they just are so together, so in love. And actually what it did, they haven't got involved, and they still haven't, still hasn't slept with anyone else, but she's just gone, and they've just come along and seen it all and done it together and wandered around, and they've slept with each other, in some of the rooms with, people around, and they said it's really exciting, and what it's done is put the spark back in them, and she's realised that actually she doesn't want to sleep with anyone else.